In some worlds, diamonds are a girl's best friend. But in Vintage Story, barrels are a girl's best friend. You'll see what I mean. Let's talk about barrels, rot, dye and leather. I have now got to the stage where I've got enough food so that some of it rots. This is an incredible relaxation moment, because when you've got enough food that it will rot, you know you've probably got enough food to last you through a hot summer or a cold winter. Now in this barrel, I've got 64 rot. You seal it, and in 20 days, it will produce some good soil. This one is 51 rot, so if I have more rot, we fill this up and we seal it. So barrels are a very, very good way of getting more soil. Now, I haven't found terra preta for a while. I haven't done a huge amount of exploring. I've mostly been getting translocators up and going. So if we're not finding terra preta, we need to improve our soil insofar as we can. So that's a good way, is to utilize your rot. And in here, I have 21 litres of orange juice, which is fresh for 22 days, but also I'm keeping my honey in here as well. Let's make some more barrels, which are easy. Right, let's just make one to start with, and we'll put it here. Why not? I want to make some dye. I believe that I have plenty of berries with which to make dye, and I haven't eaten some of my berries. I haven't eaten my black currants, not because I believe that we can make quite a bit of dye with this. I'm going to check the dye recipes because I'm sure they haven't changed. I think we are into purple dye. Here we go. Yeah. It's blueberries. No. Did you see them? They came in then. Blueberries. Come on, swap over for me. Black currants, yeah. So it's 4 litres to 4 black currants. Now, one thing I find very, very useful is not to fill the barrels up. They will go to 50 litres. I fill them to 40 litres because this whole thing works on 4s, as you will have seen. And I think 1, 2, 3, 4, that should be 4 to 4. So if we pop that in there, 40 litres of purple dye, seal, brilliant. One of the really great additions in 1.18 is the ability to write in books. Working backwards, to write in books, you have to have a quill and ink. And the ink is basically a bowl of black dye. So we need black dye. But to get to black dye, we have to start with grey dye. So it's one of these progression things where you have to make sure you're starting at the right point. Now, if we look at grey dye, here, we can either use rusty nails or metal scraps, and it's 8 litres to 1 metal scrap. Now, I'm not even sure how many metal scraps I've got. Let's have a quick look. They will be in our treasure chest. I have 10. So I'm working on 8:1. So if I can get hold of another 40 litres, should be enough to write my life history on this. 5/8 are 40. There we go. 40 litres of grey dye after 8 hours of sealing. So we're going to seal that. And we are going to need the metal scraps for when we make the black dye. Now, the other thing we've got is woad. So looking up here, not in that chest, but in this one, yeah, I've got 12 woad here. And if I remember correctly, I think, yeah, woad blue dye, 4 litres to 2. So again, we're working on 4s. So we would need 20. How many have I got? 12. Ah, but I've got more than that, haven't I? So can I get up to 20 here? I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of woad around. It's not that we're short of it. I think we can do this. 22 woad. Excellent. Let's pop inside. Right. And we need another barrel. You can never have too many barrels in this game. Right, there we go. It's amazing how many you need. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think 20 should do it. So let's see. Is my maths right? 40 litres of blue dye. Seal. So we now have purple dye, grey dye, which we're moving towards black, and blue dye. I have just harvested and replanted one of our first fields here, and I'm moving into crop rotation, which is where you plant crops that have different nutrient requirements in turn. And so what I have done is everything here has the requirement of K. When it's harvested, the next one will be either P or N, then the next one, and then we may have to leave it fallow for a while, depending on how quickly it recovers. But this is the beginning of crop rotation, and it means that we are getting some superb food supplies and an ability to maximize the output of our farms, which is great. This one is not being rotated yet. So pretty. I am remiss in my duty of care to my property. I haven't made a lightning conductor. Let's get some of our little bars out. And also I want to make, that's it too, I want to make a knife too. I'm going to have a copper knife. I use knives all the time. But first we're going to make a lightning conductor. Oh, hello. Yeah. Okay. Let's get you going. Lightning conductors are relatively new to the game. They came in, if I remember correctly, I think it was 1.17, but they are pretty gorgeous. And I love the shape of them and the look of them. Now what we need to do is to get that off my bar and to get our tongs out. We have to remember tongs. Right, let's have a go at this. Now the lightning conductor is this one. So it's very much like a trident. And in fact, if it weren't for the sort of construction of it out of copper, if it were made of something blue maybe, I would be very tempted to say that this has the beginnings of something that we could hunt fish with. Just a bit fiddly. Right. as usual, when I do something for the first time, I am showing you the whole forging, and then after that you won't see it again. Right, that is it. Now we just have to very delicately take out the ones we don't want. And I think that the design of the lightning rods, oh wow, they both went, is one of the best designs in the game. They look superb. And quench, quench, quench. Now somebody said I could just stand here and pick it up. It's not happening. Right, now we should have another one. Yeah, that'll do. And I need to make myself a new knife. I have used so much of my knives. Where's the knife? Knife blade. That one. Here we go. Knife coming up. Right, I now have a copper knife and I have this lightning rod, so we need to put this on the highest point of our building, or as far up as possible, and I'm actually going to put it up here. Look at that, absolutely stunning. Right, there we go. This all needs sorting out a lot more, but we're not quite onto that yet. I want to make another chest because I have more things to do. So if we make a chest like that. Okay, do we want to label it? We probably do. Label chests are always useful. Good. One of the great things that came in 1.18 is that not only can we make our own bookcases, and I think the new bookcases are fantastic, but we can also make our own books. So we can pan for books, but we can also make our own books. Now we've made a start towards this because we're going to make black dye. To write in books we need black dye for a quill and pen. The quill, we're going to have to find chickens. Let's try and get into those. But also if we want to make books we need a combination of parchment and leather. Now we can make leather, and indeed it's probably time I should do so, because I could make leather backpacks and get myself some more inventory space. So let's start off doing some leather. And by the way, I have a very good tutorial on how to make leather. The only question is, can I remember how to do it? We want to start with a barrel. In fact, we're going to need 3 barrels to start with. 1. I'm just going to be short. 2. Have I got another plank of any sort? I don't want to use those. Yes. We'll make it out of acacia. No. There we go. That's our other barrel. Okay, and on top of that we're going to need hides. We've got a lot of these small hides because I've been killing a lot of small animals. Now, leather always takes a lot of room, and I am debating whether to put leather working outside here. Now, it would be convenient to have it outside, and I am contemplating extending the porch over there. It's one of these should we, shouldn't we sort of moments. Also, if we want to do leather working, and in fact I am going to make that into, let me put this chest down there and just make this look nice. I need some more cobble. I like wells to look as if they will actually hold water and not seep away into the earth. So let's do this. Get rid of the earth. Let's grab some water. And let's go and pop this outside in here. Right, let's put a well there. Right. Okay, we have a well. And we're going to put in some buckets. These are barrels, not buckets. So, okay, we need to make some tannin and some strong tannin, and the way to make tannin is to soak oak in water. So we've got some oak blocks here. You can't use another wood, it has to be oak. So don't try this with other woods. And then if we pop it in here, how much can we make? 2, 3, 4, 40 litres of wheat tanning. So it's a 1-to-1. And let's get some more in. So that looks as if it's going to be 5 oak logs. Well, 50 litres of wheat tannin seal. That's underway. And I need some more oak. I'm going to have to go and harvest some oak because you need weak tannin to start your leather off, but you also need strong tannin, and strong tannin comes from weak tannin. Now, to start off the early stages of the leather, another barrel. Let's get another. This is why we need the well. Five. The first step in making hides into leather is to soak the hides in lime water, and I have managed not to record that bit. You will note when I put the next lot of oak in barrels that there is a sealed barrel. If you remember, I found lime, and it was powdered lime, in the chests when I found the 2 translocators, and that has actually given me a start on leather. So I've managed to put that lime into water, and the first step is to soak the hides in the lime water. So I'm sorry I didn't record that bit, but that's what happened. And I have to say that I am truly grateful that in 1.18 we can actually find lime in these underground rooms. It does give us another reason to go underground. And it's another source of lime. I know I can make lime from shells. I do not want to powder my shells. And I know that I can buy lime, and we may actually be buying a lot of lime if I can't find limestone. The alternative, of course, is borax, but I haven't found borax either. So I think we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Seal. So we're making 2 lots of weak tannin. One will become strong tannin. Drop the oak in there. And I'm going to leave my water bucket there. Right, all that has to stay sealed. But I've seen something very odd up on the hillside. So I want to go and have a look at it. It looks to me as if there is either a dead tree or a dead fruit tree. Can you see there's up on the hillside there's a dead tree. I hope that wasn't a fruit tree that I hadn't seen that has now died. But we need to go up that hillside and have a look and see what's going on up there. How do we get up there? Gosh. We will get up there with these. Gosh. All right. Just adding to the hillside as I go. Goodness me. Now, where is that dead tree? It's up there. It's a fruit tree. Oh no. Is it dead or dormant? It looks dead. No. We don't come down here. Can I gather these? Yes, I can. I think it was only the 3. Oh, hello. Right, well, we are up on this hillside I've never even explored. I'm finding dead trees everywhere. Look at that. No, that's pretty. Oh, it's dormant. It's not dead, it's dormant. Okay. Right, well, let's mark that. So we've got a pink apple tree. In fact, I think we're going to mark it in pink. Wow. Goodness me. Just having a look over here. That's granite. So what is over here? Do I have any space? I do. I want you to come with me. You're so pretty. All right. So we found an apple tree which is dormant, not dead. Hopefully will stay dormant and come up again and give us some pink apples. Now, if I take a branch from it while it's dormant. Now, what's the temperature up here? Yeah, it's 11 degrees. It's a bit cooler than where I am. It's got some nice branches, hasn't it? Should we? Did we get a branch? We did. I'm just going to take the one. Right. Okay. Oh, look at our build from here. This is meant to be a small build. It's looking quite substantial. I am amazed. Can I see any more fruit trees? I can't. Okay. No. What are you? Oak. Okay. Well, I'm glad I saw that tree. And look at the view over there. It looks magnificent, doesn't it? Right, let's wend our way carefully down. Yeah, we're okay so far. Now, what's next on the list? We have our dyes ready. Though this one, we've got 40 litres of grey dye. And I suspect that if I take my 5 metal scraps, I think we're going to be able to make some black dye. Do we want to make a whole load of black dye? Yes, we do. 40 litres of black dye. There we go. Another one sealed. Right. I need some whole blocks of wood, and I don't think I've got any. I do not. We will have to harvest wood to get further. So the pulverizer, after I have soaked my hides in here, I'm left with 2 litres of lime water. Now the hides had to be scraped, which means that you just put the hides in your crafting grid next to a knife and you scrape them. I was working with 7 hides, and I've now got the 7 scraped hides soaking in 50 litres of weak tannin. In here I have got 50 litres of weak tannin and 5 oak logs. I've got them sealed, and hopefully that's going to make the strong tannin. So when these hides are now finished soaking, which will be in another 3 days, we'll be able to move them to this barrel. And they will be at this point prepared hides, and then soaking them in the strong tannin will actually turn them into leather. So this is a very long process. And what is so frustrating is that I have some more hides, but if I look at this, it's not going to give me anything but raw hides. I just don't have enough lime water. So what we need to do is, I've got too much water in there to be able to make lime water, because I've got 8 lime left. And if we look at the recipe for lime water, it's 1:1. So 8 lime to 8 litres. It's quite hard to get 8 litres actually, but we can do it. So what I need to do is to grab my bucket and get, I think the easiest thing, because that's 30 litres, is to get another barrel going, because we will need all these barrels. You end up with so many little bits of tannin, little bits of this, little bits of that, when you are making leather. Let's make another barrel. There we go. Easiest thing to do. Okay, let's hurtle up here and gather my water barrel. Now this has got 10 litres of water in, so we need to empty even that. So let's put this other barrel here. Let's get that in there. We want to get down. Let's see if we can get just 1 litre out. 9. And I'm pressing shift to get just 1 litre out. Now, Does that give me lime water? That's the question. Let's have another try. So it's 8 litres of lime water. There we go. So what we'll do is we've got an empty bucket here. Let's get the lime water out of there, put it in there, and we've got 10 litres of more lime water. Now, is that... Oh! What? Oh my word! Are they coming off the roof? Or... are they coming down off that roof? They might be. Ooh. We don't want that, do we? Well, short pause in my explanations of lime. Come on, give me a temporal gear. No such luck. What about you? No. Right. Okay, let's look at this barrel. I've got 10 litres of lime water. Will it take... Yes, 1 will become... Can I get 2 in? 2 soaked hides. Ah, it'll only take 2. But that is better than nothing. Let's seal that, and we'll make some soaked hides there and put our hides back in there. So we are waiting. We're now waiting for these 2 hides to become ready to scrape. We're waiting for the scraped hides to sort of mature in here so that we can put them in the strong tannin, waiting for the strong tannin to be created. I tell you, it's a real waiting game with leather. You need a lot of patience and an amazing amount of barrels. So, barrels galore. There is no end to my need for barrels.